And you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Because nobody admits anything they've done!
Hello, boils, ghouls, and non-binary folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Scream Queens. I'm Cece.
And I'm Jess, and I remembered to talk that time. Yes.
We are here today to bring you an amazing episode because we're going to be talking about one of Jess's favorite films of all time. And our special guest also enjoys this film. It's one of her favorites of all time, I believe, as well. We have with us today another Scream Queen, Erin.
Hey.
How's it going? We're having a Queen's party in here right now.
Right?
Yes.
we just need Timmy, man, to make it complete.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The little Twitter quad that we have going on.
Oh my god. Oh man. So we are going to be talking about none other than Beetlejuice today from 1988. But before we get into that, of course, we have our news for you guys today. I'm just going to start with me real quick because mine's brief. Terrifier 2 is being postponed. The Twitter account that you guys are seeing is fake. Damien Leone actually came out on Facebook and said the only official accounts for the film are on Facebook and Instagram. So please unfollow that if you are. They've been making us really excited, and I was following it up until the other day. But anyway, yeah. So from the man himself, unfortunately, it is being pushed back due to COVID, which I totally understand. I would rather the actors and crew be safe during this time. So that's my big news. Essentially, all I know is it's going to be in 2021. So, but that's it.
Okay, well, at least it's still happening.
Yeah, of course.
I'm happy about it. I mean, I understand COVID. COVID pushed back the Batman movie too, but they got to start right back up again 2 weeks later. So
yeah,
but
it is what it is.
Yeah, such is life right now in the COVID world. Whatever, sucks. But I don't really have any HHN news. I mean, I can talk about because last week it would have been news. There's 2 new Loungefly bags. I don't know if you guys touched on it last week at all.
No, I unfortunately didn't cover anything. So if you have anything from the last couple weeks.
Yeah, so there's been some new merch, not a lot. But there's 2 new Loungeflies. We have a Universal Monsters and a Beetlejuice one. I picked up the Beetlejuice. I think Erin got both. Am I right?
Yes, I did.
Yes. See, my sister got Monsters. I got Beetlejuice. So we just walked around together.
There you go.
But they were $82, I want to say. They were a little more expensive. Yeah, but they're so freaking cute. I'm not mad. They're the chibi style. So everything's really cute. And I said, all the monsters look like they're doing the monster mash one way. And then the next row is going the other way. So I just keep singing it whenever I look at it because they're all going. It's so cute.
That's cute.
I would say if you have an annual pass with the discount you get on them, it's about the same as what you would buy them because they just released online in other places and it's the same price with shipping, so I don't think it's too bad.
Okay,
but if you don't have an annual pass, you might want to look elsewhere.
I got very lucky. Or no, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say I think Loungefly just posted them yesterday or the day before, so they're finally up, I think, through them or whatever. Yeah, I saw it on the Twitter.
I got very lucky with so when I went to go pay, I was oh, whatever, with my discount it's 10%. So it'll be fine. And I was gonna buy it. And then she was you have a $20 credit from when we reopened. And I was I have a what? I thought I already used that. And she's no, girl. So I got to mine was only 60, so I was a little happier. That was awesome. A nice surprise, but yeah, that's all I really
when I bought the Beetlejuice hoodie. It was only $30 because I had that credit, and I was oh, I would have paid complete full price for this, but I'll take it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I need the hoodie now, but I use my
For
credit.
sure. I don't know if you have this down, but they did, I think like a day or two ago, start to implement a tart now for a tooth fairy in the food room.
Oh yeah.
And then a cupcake, I think, for the brides. So
I know someone said the street corn was back too this weekend.
yes, I heard that too.
But it was like the lost tooth street
Yeah.
corn.
Yep.
Which makes me not want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, but
I mean, I guess corn kind of looks like teeth a little bit.
I hate it. But we're probably going this week at some point, so we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go next weekend now since I didn't go this weekend. I was supposed to go this weekend, but probably next Sunday, I think.
So we might have to meet up.
Well, we should just go together. Duh.
Well, duh. Okay.
Anyway. So anything else that you can think of, or Erin, if you know any news that we haven't touched on?
I know there's supposed to be this is on theme. There's supposed to be a Beetlejuice meet and greet.
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't seen him though. I haven't seen anybody with him, so I don't know if that's like a thing that's happening. He was at the horror makeup show.
I haven't seen him since
last weekend. Yeah.
And like
I don't know what's going on.
I did horror makeup on Saturday. I didn't see him. I walked around on Saturday. I didn't see him. Then we went back Wednesday and he was nowhere. And I've been trying to get a picture with my tattoo and him for my tattoo artist's portfolio, and I can't find him. Even like a socially distant picture would be fine, but I can't even find him.
Yeah, what's up with that? Because I did read that directly on the website, like when it said like spooky offerings or some weird generic thing like that. Like click here or whatever, and it was like at the bottom, and I saw that. So I don't know. Maybe it's starting this weekend. Did anybody? You didn't go this weekend, right? No. So maybe it's like starting officially now. Maybe since it's like October. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. I hope so.
Check it out. I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, we can get right into it. Do you want to take a pause here for a minute? Because I could catch my breath.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 second. Resume, and then I'll cut it whenever. So whenever you're ready.
All right. So we're going to get right into our discussion of Beetlejuice from 1988. Whoop, whoop, my birth year. That's why I love that.
Not my birthday, but whoop.
I mean, the 80s are the best, but anyway, so Beetlejuice, 1980, Tim Burton film here, and it was a budget of $15 million, and it made $74.3 million in the box office, which is sweet. It's exciting. It did win some awards for best makeup, actually an Academy Award for best
Neal. Sorry, I love her. She's my idol when it comes to makeup.
Yes, I love it. I'm so happy that they did. They did win a couple Saturn Awards as well for the makeup and best horror film, actually, for Saturn Award, which is cool because, like, okay, people consider it horror, but I do because it's like horror-esque, because apparently the original script was not supposed to be as whimsical as it
was supposed to be really dark.
Yes.
Yeah,
very dark.
It originally was a horror film, but now it's a dark comedy, is what
I would say so, yeah, for sure.
But I get where some people see it as, I don't know, not horror to me, but I was 3 years old watching this movie.
I don't want to say horror, but it's like, it's the spooky movies, it goes into that little subcategory there. So
yeah.
So we start out with our two main players here, Barbara and Adam Maitland. It shows their little town, their house that they're trying to set up exactly the way they want it to be, right? So like they're they're wanting things to be perfect for their little life that they want to start together, and that type of thing. God, see, I get lost. So
they're renovating their home. They're on I believe it's a 2-week vacation. They own the hardware store in town.
Yep.
And they're spending their vacation renovating their home, making it perfect just how they want it to be. They're very meticulous people, very set in their ways.
Yes. So, you just kind of see little scenes kind of in the beginning. You're just introduced to them. But the next like big scene really is that they go into town. they're heading home from their trip to town. They swerve to avoid a dog that's in the road, and their car eventually plunges into the river. And the reason why is because the dog's on this little board, and he kind of
Fuck that dog.
He just jumps off of it, so the car falls in. So they're dead at this point. Well, you don't know. Well, they don't know that yet.
Yeah.
You know that as the watcher because obviously. So they get back home, or the next scene is that they're back home. They're just kind of like trying to go about their day as normal, but then they start to notice some weird things. I want to say, does the book show up first, or do they see that they can't see themselves in the mirror?
Adam
the thing with the horses in front of the mirror, and they can't see their reflection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Adam ends up outside with the sandworm first.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because
and then
out the front door.
Right, and then she's like, "You were gone for 2 hours," and then pulls him back. I just rewatched this movie like 2 weeks ago in Jersey, so it is like fresh up in there.
Okay, yeah. The last time I saw it was with you when you were over, so.
Oh yeah, no. I rewatched, and then she does the horse thing, and then she's like, "Look, the book," and then first the fire fingers happen.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Yeah.
So basically, a little weird nuances are happening. They're starting to really realize what the hell is going on. They see the handbook for the recently deceased, and he calls it the recently diseased. I love that line. Yes. And then from there, let's see. They realize because looking at it, that they did drown in the crash, and they're trapped now to haunt the house that they live in. The house gets sold by Jane, who is a pushy real estate agent and also Barbara's cousin. So she sells the house to the Dietz family. So they're still living there. This family starts moving in. This family from New York City, so they're all snobby and shit, Not saying people from New York City are, but just this specific family is. It's just saying that they're from New York City. My whole family's from New York, so don't worry. Yeah,
no, same. My whole family's gonna be like, "What the fuck, Jess?" No, they're like New York socialite, New York elite.
Yes.
Like, very hoity-toity. Yeah, they're not just like a regular New Yorker from like Brooklyn.
No, not at all. So you have Charles, Delia, and Lydia. So let's see. So Delia's trying to get this place. She thinks this place is disgusting. Like, she's like, "Oh, I need to fashion this place the hell up. Where the hell is Otho? Let's get him in here. Let's get some estimates on what I want to do." Played by the lovely Catherine O'Hara, who is perfection as a woman right there. Yes. So she's going around doing her thing. Charles is obsessed with the study or the library, whatever it is. Like, he's just like, "I don't want you to touch this room. This room's great. Just do everything else you want, but just leave me to this room." Lydia's just kind of like, whatever, because she's a depressed, edgy teen, and I love her.
Well, she just got moved from a place where she's like,
not
so weird.
Died, I know, and she's
her mom died. She's got this new stepmom that's this crazy lady who wears gloves for hats and like her dad's sweaters for pants. Like, are we just gonna not talk about that?
Hey, I don't remember that one. I remember the hat.
She wears his red, like, Christmas-looking sweater as pants when she's getting the dinner ready for them to come over for the dinner scene.
Oh my god, I gotta read
with like that. Suspenders, yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
She is literally just Moira Rose, but younger.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Is this like a canon thing? Like, maybe this.
Yeah.
I feel like this has to be canon somehow.
So many parallels. It's insane.
It's wild.
I love it.
The crows have eyes. Oh my god.
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, the Wikipedia jumps really far. So basically, the Maitlands are upset because even though they're dead, they don't want people in their house. They're trying to frighten them away. It's not really working. They try so many different things. They try the sheets over their heads, which cracks me up because that's when actually Lydia finds them. She's heard them and she's hearing things and she knows somebody's there, but this is the moment where she actually finds them. She's taking pictures and she sees that there's no feet in the Polaroid that she takes. And then she's like, do you guys look all gross and disgusting under there or whatever? And then she has them like take off their sheets and they kind of introduce themselves from there. So they kind of get together because she doesn't really want to be there either because she was just uprooted and she doesn't really like her stepmother, and her dad's like not really paying attention to her and how her feelings are. So she's like, okay, I'll work with you guys. Like, right? Am I right? Or am I mixing this with the musical too much?
I mean, the musical's pretty spot on, like, as far as that. Like, Adam, she kind of, like, wants their help because Adam and Barbara want them out of the house. She wants to go back to New York. She wants her life back. So, like, yeah.
So, I mean, they hint at that, I guess, at this point. That the musical's a bit more thorough in that aspect. But, like, right now, I guess, realistically, going back to it, they do end up going back to the handbook because they're confused on what they should do next. Because like I said, they tried many different things to try to scare them. Like I think one time Barbara like hangs in the closet. They don't see her. They see something. They see like a terrible colored outfit or something. Yeah, like
the wedding outfits. Yeah.
So they go back to the handbook. They do open a door to the netherworld by drawing the door. Adam does so. So once they hit the netherworld, they're like, "What the heck? This place is wild." You know how it is. So they get a caseworker eventually named Juno. She does inform them that it is for them to get the Dietzes out if they want them gone. Obviously, they already know that, so they're just like, "Well, what else can we do to get them out? We've tried, everything." They do mention Beetlejuice because they saw an ad. Didn't they see an ad for him?
The TV ad.
The TV, yeah. So they saw the TV ad when they were back home. So they inquire about him. And she explains that he was her former assistant and advises that he's a troublemaker and they should not seek his help because he's dangerous. So,
yes.
They're like, okay, well, you're not really helping us out here, because she kind of she gives them like a crumble and then walks away type of thing. She doesn't really help them too much. So they're stuck again. They return back to their house. They do talk with Lydia more. They become friends, but Maitland still want to remove the Dietzes from the house. They do eventually summon Beetlejuice, but his crude personality convinces them they made a mistake. Refuse to work with him. That's kind of jumping forward. So like, just to kind of take it back a little bit, because I know there's some scenes in there that we're missing. Kind of with like shots of Beetlejuice himself, right? You're seeing him being introduced kind of on his own, right? Don't you see like little shots of him before they even meet him?
When he pulls the fly into the grass, or like when he's reading the paper with their obituary.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like, they look nice,
or cute couple or something like that, right? I love that. It's just like, it's good stuff, and it's what makes me sad the most about the film is that you don't see enough of him. That's my personal thing, because that's one of my fun facts is he's in only so much of the movie, but I'll talk about that later. So then they do, like I said, they do meet up with him. He's a bit of a pervert. He's crude. He's crass. They're like, we're not like, we don't like this guy. He's creepy. So we're kind of SOL at this point, right? So they're trying again to just kind of work with Lydia, I think, to keep scaring them as best as they can on their own. They do attempt to frighten them at the dinner party, but the actions don't work very well because everybody becomes possessed and they start doing the Deo, the Banana Boat song dance, which is one of the most iconic scenes that everyone knows. If you've never seen the movie, you still know this scene. You guys can pipe in if you have any thoughts on this stuff. I don't want to skim through the movie too fast, to where it's like a boring.
I just can't stop thinking about Delia's sideburns in the Deo scene.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
She's got the like curl going on.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. And the freaking weird like glove. Isn't that the scene where she has the glove?
Yes.
No,
Oh no?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when they're eating Chinese. That you can't find good Cantonese anywhere.
Oh my god.
This movie and I.
So basically, they're not having any luck with this. Everybody's having fun, right? So they search the attic. Otho takes the handbook from them. Beetlejuice gets summoned then, I guess, at this point, correct? Because he manifests as a snake at this point. He attacks them until the Maitlands order him back. Juno then summons the Maitlands and reprimands them. Okay, yes, I remember where part we're at. So she's like yelling at them, like, why did you, told you not to mess with him, blah, blah, blah. She still yells at them, but like doesn't give them anything else to work with. Like, she literally just is there to, to like say, do this, but I'm not going to tell you how or why. Just do this, don't do this kind of thing. There's not much help, but let's see. She's still telling them, you know, you need to get rid of the Dietzes. They can't. They don't want to scare Lydia. They don't want to get rid of Lydia because they've grown to really love her, and that's what's making this whole thing hard for them. Is that they care about her. Let's see. So eventually, Charles has the idea that he wants to turn the house into like a tourist trap type of themed house because
the whole town.
They realize that, oh yeah, the town.
The entire town.
Sorry. Yep.
No, you're good.
Yep. And he convinces his former boss to visit. So his boss wants to see the proof, you know, here. So Otho now has the handbook. God. He summons Adam and Barbara. And this is when you see them and they're like like they're starting to decay. They get like almost skeletal. They perform a seance. Or they thought it was a seance, but realistically it was an exorcism. Lydia asks Beetlejuice for help because she really cares about Barbara and Adam as well at this point. And she's like, what else am I going to do? These people are really like messing up our lives here. Like, I don't want to be here, but also these poor people died and they can't get out. They can't get us out. So she calls on Beetlejuice. He agrees on one condition, that she marry him. So he can be free to enter the mortal world. So she agrees because she must really love Adam and Barbara that much.
Yeah.
And so she summons him. He stops the exorcism, gets rid of Maxie, which is Charles' boss, his wife, and Otho. And then summons a ghastly minister to wed him and Lydia, which I like that little guy. He's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like a what? An alien?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so little and so adorable. The Maitlands intervene in that because they're like, no, you don't have to do all this. You know, you don't sacrifice yourself to marry him just for us. Before the ceremony is complete, they were trying to, So, we have them getting ready to have their wedding ceremony again. The Maitlands do intervene because they don't want Barbara to have to do that just for them. So Barbara comes in on the frickin' sandworm to devour Beetlejuice. Well, the sandworm devours him essentially because she's like wanting to save the day. She doesn't want her to sacrifice her life for them. So that all happens. That's the end of Beetlejuice at that time. Kind of skips forward to the Dietzes kind of just like living in the house, and then you kind of go to the school where Lydia is just getting out of school for the day. She comes home. She tells them about her math test. I think it was the math test.
Yeah.
And they're proud of her. And then basically though, they all decide to kind of agree to live in the house together peacefully. Lydia becomes more like socially adjusted because she is a little bit happier now because she feels like she really has a true home with all of these people. And then she does her levitating scene during Jump in the Line, and that's just really fun. Like That song's great. She's dancing, she's happy. You can tell that she's just like a new person. Like she just finally like feels comfortable. And then meanwhile, the best scene, one of the best scenes of the whole movie, in the back in the afterlife, you have Beetlejuice sitting, impatiently waiting to be called in. He's sitting next to, excuse me, sitting between, isn't it the pair of legs and the, like Trader Sam style dude? What is he? Forgot the name of, like a head shrinker.
Oh, there's the it's like a witch doctor.
Yeah.
And the shrunken
the shrunken head.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then and then isn't like the shark guy over there? Something like that. Yeah. Oh, whatever. But he's between them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So he's just talking, you know him. He's a big talker. He's trying to distract the witch doctor because his number is like 3 or 4. I think it was 4. Is it 4?
It was like literally the next one that they were gonna
call.
I
think it was 4 and they were on 3 or something like that. And his was like a bunch of numbers, and he's like, oh look, there's Elvis, and then he like or the king, you know, and he like switches the numbers with them, and then he looks at him and he's like, as he's talking, his head starts to shrink because the guy realized that he fucked with him, and he's like, no, bro. So that's basically how the movie ends. It's hilarious. Now that we've kind of gone through like the plot and everything, we're gonna just kind of like open discussion of, you know, I would like these two actually to kind of talk about, you know, what it is about this movie that they really love, because I know this is a big movie to them. It's a big movie to me too, but I feel like I'm not as outward about it as they are.
What are you talking about? I'm not outward about my love of Beetlejuice. It's very well hidden. No one knows I love him.
My thing is like I love the movie, but like what made my love for Beetlejuice honestly was the Graveyard Review at Universal. That was my big thing. I used to go to it all the time, especially the one that had Hip and Hop in it. That was the show that I saw the most. So that's the one that I loved for so long. And just seeing him in the parks. And then recently the musical really brought me back into it a lot, because I feel like the story elaborates a bit more and I love the music. But I will give these ladies the mic so they can kind of describe, you know, what this movie means to them and stuff like that. So Erin, if you'd like to start.
I guess for me it was just one of those movies that I grew up with like my entire life. I remember my uncle, who's since passed, he used to have like this huge collection of VHSs, and I would go to his house like every Saturday or something, and I'd pick one out. And this was always like one of the ones I'd always pick because I thought the cover art was so cool. I was always like really attracted to stuff like that. And it was just one of those movies I'd watch all the time. And it's like a big nostalgia thing for me. And I think like the more I watch it, I'm attracted to different things. I'm going through like a really major like Schitt's Creek obsession right now. I think it's pretty apparent if anybody follows me or anything like that. And I'm just like in love with Catherine O'Hara beyond like a shadow of a doubt. Like I love her so much. So like right now it's like Delia Dietz is like my favorite character, but you know, sometimes it'll be Barbara, sometimes it'll be Beetlejuice. So there's always like something to go back to with movies you love like that. I think you always find something in it new that you can like fall in love with.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Jess.
Okay. Time for me. Hi, I'm Beetlejuice, and I'm a Beetlejuice addict. No, I've told. I have talked about it before multiple times, but I saw the movie when I was 3. It just came on, and my mom thought she was gonna have to change it because I was very afraid of everything as a kid. Like up until like maybe the last 5 years of my life, my anxiety finally calmed down enough for me to enjoy the scarier things. But Beetlejuice was just this thing that fascinated me. I didn't think it was scary. This movie was just like amazing to me, and like it was like God level. You like couldn't tell me Beetlejuice wasn't the best movie in the world when I was 3. And Lydia was the first time I saw like a spooky girl portrayed like positively in a certain way. Because like spooky girls were always like, they were the goth chick, they were the weird girl, like, every portrayal for me up until then had been really negative. And even now I feel like we're finally getting into positive spooky roles. Thanks to like American Horror Story Coven. I feel like that really helped change it and like stuff like that. But Lydia was like the first girl that I was like, oh, I can be like into the strange and unusual and it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. And like Beetlejuice, I always said he was my boyfriend. I looked at my mom for the first time. I was like, that's my boyfriend. And she was like, okay. And it stuck. And that's why he's like on my arm now at 26 years old. He's just always kind of been like this like light, because he's evil technically, and he's like a bio-exorcist demon, but he's really funny, and he like is just kind of raunchy, and I feel like my sense of humor is similar as I've gotten older. And like I watched it with Wade, and he said that when Beetlejuice is on screen, my face changes. And it's like I'm like a kid. And I'm like, is it? And he's like, yeah, you literally are just like, Beetlejuice. So it's just always been this thing. And like I see him in the parks a lot, and there's one actor who plays him who knows that he's like my boyfriend. So he'll always be like, what's up, baby? And he's like, how's my favorite girl today? And I'm like, hi, how are you? I get so like giddy. But it just means a lot. And like as I've watched it, I think I've watched it twice now in the past 2 months. And it just, I always tear up when the ending happens, because I'm just like, the movie just means so much to me. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and you know, Tim Burton in other people's eyes has made better movies, but that is Michael Keaton is my Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice is my boyfriend. And it makes me happy. Long story short.
No, I understand that. That's the thing with me, is like a lot of things make me happy, but I don't know how to describe why. Like sometimes, if that makes sense. Like that's my issue. It's like I can't say it. But for you, like it's funny because you guys are talking about, since you've been watching this since you were little. I'm sure I did. I don't really remember the first time I did watch it. I just know that I've always liked it. So, but for me, my nostalgic Tim Burton movie was always Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That was the movie that I watched like all the time on repeat. So that was like my first, I don't know if I saw it before Beetlejuice or not, but that was the one that I like attached to the most, I think. And you can see a lot of like Burton's, people don't realize it's a Burton movie because you can see a lot of elements of his style in there. The wheels on his bike, you know, that type of thing. So, and of course the makeup and that style that he brings to the table. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, there's so many. Beetlejuice is so iconic, you know. This movie just sparked so much, you know. We, like I said earlier, we recently have the musical now, and I love it. The music is so great. It flows well with the story. We've talked about it in a prior episode. We actually do have an episode all about the musical. So that's been kind of the thing that's reinvigorated the franchise for me, personally. And actually, I don't know if you guys saw, they are bringing Beetlejuice into Teen Titans Go.
Yes.
All that. Yeah.
Yes, and Alex Brightman from the musical is going to be playing him, so I'm so stoked.
I guess I guess new episodes come out on Sundays for that, because Boogie Gargano from Big Heck and Wade, Heck's daughter, she messaged me and was like, Beetlejuice is coming on Teen Titans Go, and I was like, oh, you found out? Yeah. I was like, yeah, we're really excited, and the guy who's voicing him is from Broadway, and she's like, oh no, and I was like, yes. So awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited that he, you know, that the world is keeping him relevant. Like he's just such an iconic character, and then so many like iterations of him. Like again, I even just love the actors that are walking through the parks now and like helping out with the makeup show. I didn't get to see him when I was at the makeup show last, but just I don't know. Every time I've met him at the park, he's always been hilarious. So I love it. So a couple other things I want to talk about. Beetlejuice is barely in his own movie. I know I mentioned that earlier. I have the exact time. It says apparently
it's like 18 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, 17.5 out of a 92-minute film.
I know my man. I counted with a stop.
It makes me sad, but like he's also an enigma, so like I get it. You know what I mean? So it leaves some to be desired, right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also they had to go back and film the ending, like the scene of with him in the netherworld, because people after the first screen test felt like he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So that whole scene was filmed like after production had finished.
I think too,
So that's why it's only him.
The test audiences wanted like a happy ending for him because he's like the main character. So that's like kind of like a whimsical, like I guess happy ending.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, just like a funny Beetlejuice-esque ending for him. So
yeah. So another fun fact, I think this is pretty cool, honestly. In 2010, Glenn Shaddix, so the gentleman who played Otho in the film, he fell in his kitchen, unfortunately, and died of blunt trauma to his head. But what's cool about this is at his memorial service, the final song played was Deo, because he absolutely loved the dinner scene. That was like one of his fondest memories. So I really love that. I thought that was interesting. And did you guys know, you guys probably know because you're big fans, you know that the movie was almost called Scared Sheetless?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, I
about
get the joke. I get the joke is supposed to sound like Scared Shitless or whatever because of the sheets or whatever, but I'm so glad they changed it.
yeah.
Do you guys have any do you guys know by any chance why it is perhaps that they spell it like the two words Beetle and Juice like in the promotions angle of everything at all? Do you happen to know anything about that? As like the
That's
B.
a good question. I know I read something about it years and years ago.
I just didn't know if you guys had any information on that offhand.
It's probably like how, you know, us HHN fans are so used to marketing and creative kind of doing their own things.
Yeah.
I really think it was like the PR team was just like, that's really hard to spell. Beetlejuice. I just like
the general public wouldn't be able to pronounce it the way that it is supposed to be pronounced. Yeah. So they're like, oh, Beetlejuice. They'll get it if it's juice, like literally.
Yeah.
So
that's
I believe
that
is it though.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because it's kind of like how Lydia like guessed it, so they kind of put it like how she guessed it so that it looks more understandable and easier to read. That's pretty cool. That's like all the fun facts I have. Personally, I just love this movie, man. It's so cool. Like Michael Keaton, again, like I know Catherine O'Hara is fantastic. Michael Keaton is another one of my favorite actors as well. So he plays, you know, Beetlejuice, and he plays my favorite Batman. So he's been a very iconic actor to me personally. I'm in love with Winona Ryder too. So it's just got a stellar cast. You know, a lot of people were big in the 80s. Well, they actually were they started to get a little bigger in the 90s too, but like a lot of these people were already kind of starting to sprout in the late 80s. But
Alec Baldwin, it looks his best.
Oh yeah, duh. Alec Baldwin too.
Looks better.
He does. He's great. And Gina Davis.
Daddy Alec Baldwin in that movie. Oof.
Yeah.
Put on blast by Peacock for tweeting that
I saw that.
They were like, they called me out. I was like, oh, good.
That was
this is my legacy.
I cracked up when I saw that. I was like, and then I think they said something to Timmy too, but he didn't remember when I asked him about it.
Oh my God, I missed that. I did not do the live. We had just watched it the night before, so we didn't do the watch along. So we missed all that.
Yeah. Well, I think too, isn't Catherine O'Hara the voice of Sally in Nightmare Before?
Yes. And the voice of Shock, yeah.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
Icon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she just Tim Burton everywhere.
I think, and I don't know which I saw first either, because I absolutely adore her in Home Alone too, and like I've just always loved her. That's the thing. And then when she came back for Schitt's Creek, and then I like finally watched it because I was a late person to the show too.
Yeah, me too.
When I finally watched it, I was just.
My mom got me to watch it by saying they have a gay son and Delia's the mom, and I went, oh, okay. I ran to go watch this
for me.
Yeah, you know, like. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, we're gonna go on a tangent about that, but like, she's such an icon. I love her.
Yeah.
Her fucking fashion is great.
I want to do like a costume mashup of the two, but it's so hard to pinpoint certain things because they're so similar.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? And then
That's
like
why, it's
Moira also wears a lot of black and white stripes.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would like confuse people heavily. They'd be like, "Are
Yeah.
you Beetlejuice?" I'm like, no.
Yeah. I wonder if she does
Yes,
that
but
nod to Delia sometimes. Like, I wonder if she does that as like a nod to her past character, you know? Like, that's so cool
Maybe.
to think
That
about.
would be incredible.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
What is your favorite scene in Beetlejuice? Because I have one 100%.
I know what yours is.
I can go first if you guys want to think. I
Go
would
first.
gladly.
Go first,
Yeah,
'cause
you
I
go
don't
first.
know.
My favorite scene, and it is kind of a scene that everyone just kind of go like everyone loves it, but everyone goes by it. It is when he gets distracted. Beetlejuice gets distracted by the Dante's Inferno room. And all the ladies are just standing there beckoning him, and the horns already out. The symbolism in the costuming, the dance he does as he walks up to Dante's Inferno room. I, from like little kid Jess, was just like, I love him. Oh my God, I love him. That's my favorite scene. It makes me so happy.
It's hilarious. Oh my God.
Mwah. Just perfection.
I still have to think because I can't think of it.
I know like
Erin?
somebody was having trouble figuring out what that song's called that they play during Dante's
Yeah.
Inferno.
Huh.
Well, I don't know what it is.
I just really want to play that song on a loop for like the entire day, one day, because it's so good.
Absolutely.
But I think my favorite scene is because I'm such like a visuals person, especially with this movie. I think my favorite scene is when he, you know, she says his name 3 times. He says it's showtime, and then he comes out, has like the carousel on his head. He like smashes them through the roof. He changes Otho's suit to like powder blue, which terrifies him, which I think is hilarious. Like as an adult watching that, it's so much funnier because as a kid I didn't get it, but
Right.
And just like his iconic striped suit, which you know is another thing that you only see for like not even 5 minutes, probably like 2-3 minutes. Just that whole scene all the way through to the end is just incredible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely. That's my favorite like version of Beetlejuice. I call it like the carnival ride
Mhm.
when he comes out. And there's a pop figure that's at Walmart right now that we are literally on a mission to find of that.
Yeah, it's so cool.
One day.
I went to Spooky Empire years ago. I actually met V. Neil there. But there was also like a guy who had a full costume of that, of like the carousel thing. I have a picture of it. I can send it to you guys later. But I was just like blown away by that. It's incredible.
I honestly don't know. I guess I would say any parts of the Netherworld are great. I just love the visuals of how the Netherworld looks, and like I love all of the makeup on the dead people and like the flattened dude, and like I don't know, I just love it all. I think it's so fun. So those are definitely like my favorite scenes. I would say even perhaps the last scene of the film when he's messing around with everybody and gets his head shrunk and stuff like that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite quotes of this film? Or what are your favorite quotes? I know you have to have something.
Oh. I mean, it's showtime, everyone. We had it in our intro. That's just something I quote like on a daily, I feel like at this point.
I will go insane and I will take you with me.
Yes.
So good.
I mean, the quote that kind of changed my life was I myself am strange and unusual. It's so cliche as a girl to say that, but like that whole quote, I was like, what? We can what? We can be strange and unusual? Like
Yeah, oh my god.
I also like when like they get into the house and Lydia just like looks at the staircase and there's like a spider and a spider web and she goes, I could live here.
Yeah. That is so Erin.
It's me.
Oh man, I don't know. I think everything Beetlejuice says is gold. Like
Literally.
Fucking model.
Fucking model.
They got away with 2 F-bombs and it's only PG.
Movie. I know. Remember me and you we were like talking about that. We're like, that's so edgy. What?
Yeah.
How did they do that?
Cece like looked at me. I was like, dude, they got away with 2 of them. And she was like, what? And I was like, 2.
Wild. Like, I can't believe that.
It's crazy. I love I mean, I'm the ghost with the most. That anything that comes out of Beetlejuice's mouth, I'm gonna say is my favorite quote. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Exactly. I love it. Another thing I forgot to mention, one of my favorite scenes, because now like when I rewatched it as an adult, I was cracking up because you know I love wrestling, is when fucking Delia's like half asleep and she's watching wrestling and she gets up asleep and like turns the shit off. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So funny.
I also love like the scene right after where Lydia's taking pictures. She's like, you guys are into some weird shit. Your daughter can hear you, like when she's taking pictures. Because she thinks it's them in the sheets.
She said she won't hear you. She's sleeping with Prince Valium tonight.
I know. I was like, so sad. I was like,
it gets funnier the older you get.
It really is. Because there's so much adult humor in that. Like, wow.
One of the scenes that like makes me laugh, and it's just because it's so dumb, is when they're up with Juno and they're about to do like the face things. I don't know what to call them, like where they pull their faces out and like the football team's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Coach, I don't think we made it out of the crash.
What gave you that idea?
Oh my god.
Like, Coach, we're in the changing room. Stop calling me Coach.
Stop calling me Coach. Your coach survived. He's the lucky one.
That football team is made up of a bunch of himbos, and it's
for sure
hilarious.
But when they start dancing at the end with Lydia, they're jumping the line.
So cute. I love it.
Oh, I love this movie so much. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
We could just, probably just sit here all day and talk about it. It's crazy. Like, I know I said it earlier, I just love how it sparked so much like additional stuff, like the animated show, Beetlejuice being prominent in the Universal parks. Like, there's so much that you could really say. Like, it's great, and I'm glad, and I really hope, and I'm sure we will get the house next year.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait. We're all gonna cry.
Sob. I'm going to sob.
We're gonna have to get I told Jess this. We're gonna have to get a steamroller to push her and Erin through because
every room we're gonna be like, oh my god. Hunter went with me when the tribute store opened, and I'm not kidding. My ADD was so bad that I was like, everything was really hard for me to look at. So as I would find new things, I would scream, Hunter, look at that.
I had to go through the first day that I went, I kid you not, 4 times because I was so like overstimulated.
Yeah.
That I couldn't focus on anything.
I agree. I
don't even think I was able to focus that day at all, like until my second trip.
Yeah, I only went through the one time now so far, so like I really need to like take my time next time because I didn't even look at like because I've watched walkthroughs of it and I've like seen videos, but I couldn't even wrap my head around just like looking at all the props and all the sets because I was just like so like overstimulated, like you said. Like I just kind of grabbed stuff that I wanted to buy and I like ran up to the freaking thing because I was just like, there's too much going on.
I feel like that's another thing too, is just like, I feel like not just at Horror Nights or Universal, but like everywhere there's stuff with Beetlejuice on it. Mm-hmm. Like 10 years ago, I would have struggled to find like a t-shirt with him on it. And now it's like, you can just go to Walmart and buy like a snow globe with him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hot Topic has like 25 pages if you type in Beetlejuice. It's ridiculous. And Box Lunch and like.
I hate it.
No, same. And we sound like we're gatekeeping the Beetlejuice fandom, but we're not. It's just that, like, as someone who's loved Beetlejuice for 23 years now at this point, all these like people who are finding their love for it, come into the fandom, but like appreciate those who had to struggle or make their own shit for 20 years. We struggled so hard. I couldn't type in Beetlejuice and find, you guys can't even see, but 25 things on Hot Topic. Like,
I'm trying not to be like that so much anymore because I used to be really like that. I used to be a hipster so bad, but like I'm trying to also understand that like this is even making my life a little easier when I can buy things that I really like. So that kind of makes me happy because basically I can find almost anything I want on Spirit. So
Yeah. Well, that's the only reason I said I hate it, is just because it's so hard to have self-control when like there's Beetlejuice makeup brush holders.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I
What am I
know.
supposed to do with that? Not buy it? Like,
I saw that, and
I
then
bought the palette at Hot Topic. The palette
Did
I
you?
knew that was shitty, but
I
it's
bought
actually
the-
not that bad.
yes. See, I didn't buy the Beetlejuice one. I bought the Chucky one. I know it's gonna crumble and not blend, but you know what? The packaging.
I don't care.
know, right? I saw the Chucky face mask, and I was like, "What the heck?"
It was nice.
It's gonna give me acne, but oh really?
Yeah.
People were giving it bad reviews, though. They were like, "This has nothing to do with Chucky." It's like, okay, nobody said it did.
It's just a face mask. It's just a face mask. The other review was like, made me ugly like Chucky, would not recommend. I was like, okay.
Whatever,
Oh
people.
my God. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. If you've never seen the movie, because I know there are some of you out there, please do yourself a favor and watch it.
It's on Peacock.
Know that I hate you. Just know that I hate you because you haven't seen it.
What?
It is on Peacock. I hate you if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Damn.
Not you.
No, I
The
know.
listeners. Okay. If they have been listening to us since July and haven't watched Beetlejuice, Trick or Treat, or Terrifier at this point, that's not my fault. I cannot be held responsible. I love all of you for listening. Just know that. But if you haven't watched Beetlejuice, it's been out for 30 years.
Yeah. 32.
32? 32.
That's what I know.
It's older than me, and I've seen it.
Birth year. That's the only reason I know.
That's how I react when people say they haven't seen Jaws, though, to be fair.
Okay, to be fair, that was my first time this year. I promise you.
Okay.
It was amazing.
What?
I'm about to get real quiet.
But it's okay. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it, though. I'm very proud. And
Let him judge you too. Beetlejuice is judging you now.
I'm going to have him here next Monday.
Ow! Oh my God, we're going to be twins.
Yeah. Oh, it is on the same arm, isn't it?
Yeah. My hand's on my left. When we finally meet at HHN, we need to just take a picture together.
Yeah.
We'll walk through the house like this, just like.
We need to get a picture like when we both have, like when it's not social distance anymore, of like him between us and us doing this.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, that's it.
That'll be awesome.
That's happening.
All right. I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Why?
Here all night. We would love to sit here all night and talk, but unfortunately, we have responsibilities called life.
Responsibilities.
You know, that type of thing. So, with our housekeeping, Erin, if you would like to tell us where we can find you or anything you may be doing soon to plug or anything like that, you have the floor.
I don't do anything. I just tweet about Schitt's Creek all day. You can find me at Crazy Shark Lady on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. Anything interesting you're doing anytime soon?
I'm getting a tattoo next Monday of Beetlejuice.
Woo!
But I think we just talked about that.
Exciting and very fitting. So
Yes.
Joining the Beetlejuice Tattoo Club.
Exactly.
We are small, but we are mighty.
all right, Jess, if you want to take us home.
Oh, yes. Ooh, I haven't done this in a while. So if you'd like to follow the Scream Queens, you can follow us on Twitter at Scream Queens 85. You can follow us on Instagram at the Scream Queens Podcast. If you want to send us an email, we have an email. I don't know. If you have anything you want to tell us, it's the screamqueens85@gmail.com. Yeah, I got it on the first try. We are, I know Cece mentioned it last week, this is part of our Spooky Bitchtober series that we are doing. So every week will be a new Halloween movie or one of our favorite Halloween movies that gets us in the spirit. And we're also a part of a really awesome network called the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Definitely check them out. We've got everything. We've got horror movie shows. We've got script reviews. There's a, what was there like a, what's the kinky one, Cece? Help me out here.
Erotica or something like that?
There's like horror erotica. There's a wrestling podcast. There's the Scream Queens. They're pretty awesome. And if you want to follow Cece and I on our personal socials, they're also linked to our Twitter and Instagram. So that is all I have.
Awesome. I just want to also say thank you guys so much for the love and support. We've only been doing this now, let's say, Tuesday will be our 3 months Our
Aw.
3-month anniversary of this little pod baby that we made.
Aw, our baby.
But I can't believe it. We have really like done so much more than, I don't want to sound unconfident, but like we've done a lot more than I thought we would at this stage, and I'm so proud of ourselves, and I'm so happy that you guys support us and share us and listen, and even if you don't listen, sharing helps too. It's really awesome. But yeah, I guess we will end it here. I'm so sorry. We have to go. But it has to happen. We'll be back next week with some more fun. Do we want to give them a clue as to what next week? Well, actually, we don't even know yet. We haven't decided.
We haven't, so you guys will just have to check Twitter for the clues.
Yep. You know me.
We don't know.
Clues out. All right.
Oh yeah, but thank you, Erin. We want to thank Erin. Of course.
Sorry, I'm out of it.
Oh, you're good.
I'm so happy she was able to be here with us because, again, she's like one of the other Beetlejuice experts that I know besides Jess. So that's why we had to have her here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed your guys' podcast. Like I think since the beginning, and it's just crazy like how much you guys have grown. I feel like you've been around forever, not in like a bad way. It's like it seems like that to me. So
thank you so much. Like
I'm happy to be here.
It means so much, but
Yeah.
do. It is that time, and I want to say to y'all, please stay spooky. Wear your fucking mask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And save Halloween.
Always.
See you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here! Nice fucking model!